Greetings and welcome back to Celebrate Every Day with Amazing K. I am Amazing K, Karen K. Rush, and I am here today to tell you what we're going to celebrate on Wednesday, September 6, 2023. Today is National Coffee Ice Cream Day. Yay! It is also National Read a Book Day. Yay! So, these 2 days are very important because I love coffee, I love ice cream, and I love reading. So today is a very special day for me because I love all of those things and we're honoring all of those things today. So let's first talk about coffee ice cream. Now, you know, the National Day calendar celebrates all flavors of ice cream. Just about every flavor has their own day. We just recently did peach ice cream and Rocky Road ice cream and chocolate ice cream and vanilla ice cream. My favorite is pralines and cream and coffee. I like coffee ice cream and I like coffee. And sometimes I like to put coffee in my ice cream or ice cream in my coffee. So today, you know where we can get ice cream and coffee. You guessed it, Dunkin' Donuts. And guess what? They have, in honor of this month, the flavor of the month, they have a new ice cream called, what is it called? Well, their coffee ice cream is Jamocha coffee, but this new flavor of the month is called Coffee Shop Cold Brew ice cream. And that's what this is. That's what this little one is here. And I thought it would be so good, cool, if guess what? I put some coffee ice cream in my coffee. That'll be the cream. Because I usually don't put sugar in my coffee anyway. I usually just put cream. But look at that. You see how it has a different, well, look. It's good. So I had a little taste of it. You know how they give you the taste on the spoon. But I haven't. I want to try it with coffee. Now that's good stuff. So, coffee ice cream. Coffee ice cream has been around since a very long time, 1869, when it first showed up on the scene. And like I said, that's why it has Jamocha coffee, just a plain coffee ice cream. And all this month, they're featuring their flavor of the month, which is Coffee Shop Cold Brew ice cream. Get you some. Well, we don't have a 31st in September. Nope. So remember, next month in October, when you go to Baskin Robbins on the 31st, you can get 31% off of all of your scoops of ice cream. Okay, so that's National Coffee Day. Get yourself some coffee ice cream and enjoy the day. So it's also National Read a Book Day. So I love to read. I read books all the time. And here lately, well, I guess within the last 10 years, I've also become a fan of Audible books. I love to listen to books too, but I do love to read books. Now, in my business, we do what we call self-development, okay? And we have to, because we have to be, when you have your own business and you're an entrepreneur, you need to have self-development to help build yourself, to know about yourself, because you're an entrepreneur. You're your own boss, see? And if you're your own boss, you're the world's best boss. That's so good. I'm going to be having coffee and books today. So listen, I wanted to share with you. I got a lot of my books here. I'm really surrounded by my books. You can't see, but they're all here on the couch. A lot of my books. So right now, in my network marketing group, my business, we are reading this. Mark Yarnell's Your First Year in Network Marketing. If you are in network marketing, you need this book. It tells you everything that you need to know. And it's a great, we're going by. We have what we call IMV, Inspirational Morning Vitamin. Every morning at 8 o'clock, we, the night before, we read this, or whenever you want to read it. You read the part of the chapters, 10 pages. And then our leaders, they talk about it. And then in our group, we get on and we have an after call and we give our thoughts about it. And not only our thoughts, but how are we going to apply it to our lives? Because it's just helping us in our life. Some other books that we've read before, The Slight Edge. This is a good book. It really tells you how turning simple disciplines into massive success and happiness. And you know, I love to be happy. We also read this, John C. Maxwell. I'm a big fan of John C. Maxwell's books. Yes, 21 Laws of Leadership. Because you got to be your own leader. You got to be your own boss. You got to know how to do this stuff. And this does nothing but help you. We also read, this is one of the good ones recently. 10 distinctions between millionaires and middle class. Who wants to be middle class? We all want to be millionaires because we can. God said we can, so we can. But here's the distinctions to let you know how you think, because it's all about thinking. And speaking of thinking, we read this book, Napoleon's Hill, Think and Grow Rich. Yes! Oh my goodness. And you know what? Dennis Kimbro wrote a book too, Think and Grow Rich, The Black Choice. This is all about how people think they're self-rich. You have to believe it. A man is because he believes it. That's what it goes. That's how it goes. As you thinketh and believe it, you can become it. This is a good one. And this is there's a lot of different one of these. 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I've read this book over and over again because I want to be highly effective. But they also have 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, 7 Habits of Highly Effective. But Stephen Covey, it's a whole university with him. And this is the edition. Sean Covey, his son, is in that one too. Now this one, we read this all the time because we want to be professionals. I have this because I used it in the Audible, but I had printed it out for somebody because they wanted to have it printed. Yeah, Eric Worre's Go Pro, because we're professional. We are professional business owners. We're professional network marketers, and we need to know how to be professional. This one we haven't read, I don't think, but I read this on my own when I was with another company, Jack Canfield's The Success Principles. Yes, how to get from where you are to where you want to be. Yeah, reading is learning, and reading is growing. We are readers. Readers are leaders. If you want to be a leader, you got to be a reader. So those are the things we do. Now, I have some other ones here that I've used in Audible. So Go for No. Yes, that tells you, because a lot of people tell you no in this business, and you can't let it phase you. You just keep going. Keep going. Some will, some won't. So what next? That's our motto. Also, we have all of those books there. Yeah, all of those. We read all of those. Okay. Also, I also have friends that recommend books. So we had read before Developing the Leader Within You, but my business partner and we're business partners, and he suggested this. It helped him so much that he suggested I read. Mr. Jeffrey Vines, thank you, because I listened to that book like in one day, and it was so good. And I just kept taking notes, and I'm going to be reading those notes. Yes, developing the leaders around you, because you don't just want to be a leader. I don't just want to be a leader. I want the people on my team to be leaders too, because we all have leadership abilities, and we're all going to be able to help other people. And the more leaders you have, the more help you can help for other people. And I'm excited about that, okay? So let me tell you about some other books that I read. Those are for my business. Now, I do read for pleasure too, and all of the books I read are for pleasure. I enjoy reading, so they're all pleasure. But some people think some are textbook style. But I do read. I have some for my early childhood. Now, I've been in early childhood for over 40 years. So there are some books that I recommend that people that are in early childhood are teaching. This is The 1 Minute Teacher. This is a great book for people who work with kids. This book, it's not really funny, but it's just personal. Our Black Year by Maggie Anderson. This is about a family who wanted to buy black for a whole year, and the struggles that they had to go through, because there's not many black establishments or black owned businesses where they could do that, but they were determined. And this is a great book. It's a great eye-opener too about our economy. and where our funds are going and how you're using your funds, okay? Also, this book, Learning Comes to Life, an active learning program for teens. You know, I don't work with teenagers. I work with preschoolers. But, you know, through the years, I've had teenagers because I've raised kids. And I always use active learning. Active learning is the High Scope way. So, yep, this is a High Scope book. It's by the High Scope of the Ideals Institute because they use for adolescents. And it's a great book. Now, here's a book that I wrote. I don't really study this book because I wrote it. It really needs to be updated. Head Start preschool programs, building a High Scope program within a Head Start preschool program because my background is in Head Start. And yeah, Karen K. Rush, that's me. Now there's another book I wrote too about using sign language. It's called Ready, Set, Go, using sign language in the preschool classroom. But I can't seem to keep my hands on that book. Every time I bring one home, someone sees it and they want to buy it. So I don't have any with me. But oh, here. There it is right there. Ready, Set, Go. Yep, I love that because it's my love of sign language and my love of preschool, and I got to put them together in that book. And it comes with a DVD with me signing phrases and things that are indigenous to the preschool classroom. Okay, so now I have some books that are written by some friends of mine. Now, I have a friend, Miss Mary Edwards, Dr. Mary Edwards. She wrote this book about, it's kind of like it is an autobiography, Born Grown. Isn't she beautiful? And you know, she recently got married. She's a newlywed. And I think she was like in her 70s when she got married. So there's still hope for me. I'm just waiting patiently. I can wait. Now, this is well, I don't know if I should call him a friend. This is someone I met, you know, someone introduced us. They thought we would be able to hit it off and date, but I guess we didn't because we had one date and that was it. But Mr. Sam Elong, oh, wait, let me say it right, E-Kong, like King Kong, E-Kong. So I've been trying to read this book, but this book is kind of steamy and, you know, being a single woman, it's kind of hard for me to read books like this. I used to read books like that all the time when I was younger and, you know, everything like that. But Diary of a Married Woman, this is it's pretty good. I'm just putting it out there, you know, because we like to support our people. He also wrote this book, Order to Kill. This seems like a mystery. I haven't gotten into this one yet, but I will. I'm going on some trips, some leisure trips, and I'm going to take these books and I'm going to read them. Yeah, I'm going to finish this one when I'm on a cruise or when I go to Morocco, one or the other. I'm going to Morocco in November and I'm going on a cruise in December. This book is by one of my relatives. It's Daughter of a King, and she wrote this. This is by Catherine Patricia Perry McKinney Snow. She just put all her names in there. So, you know, I am a McKinney. My mom's main name is a McKinney. So this is a book about her part of the family. I'm going to write a book about my family, too. My aunt actually started. It's called Deeper Our Roots, about how she took our lineage all the way back. And she was a historian, all the way back to our slave owners. And we have 12 generations of McKinneys on our line. This book is by a minister friend of mine, Minister Gene Chandler. Yes, Too Late. This is really about the resurrection, the rapture. So you want to get this as a good read. And this book is by Jonathan Wynn. He was working with us at Southfield Public Schools, and this is called Anchored: Strength in Hard Times. You know, we have some hard times, and this helps us get strength. Speaking of hard times, I have some religious books that I read, and a lot of them are from book clubs. This is a book that my sister, we just featured her and her husband, the pastors of Heart of God Ministries, and they have a women's ministry, and every now and then we have a book club reading. I think this is the last one we read, Hearts of Fire. It's about martyrs, you know, people that were living their life for Christ and giving up their lives for Christ. And this book, to me, to be honest with you, it was just a little hard for me to read because it was just a little hard for me to read because it's a true story. These people went through. There was 8 women, you know, the underground church and their stories and what it cost them. And it's just kind of was just a downer for me because it was not. And I should be thankful for them. Thank God for what they went through, but it just did not lift me up. But this one, T.D. Jakes, Women Thou Art Loose. This was a book club we read as well. Yes, very uplifting. And I love T.D. Jakes. I love to listen to him preach. I love to listen to him read. Well, when I'm reading, I always imagine, unless I'm doing Audible, I imagine. And I love when Audible have them read their own books, the author read their own books, because you know they're going to read it exactly how they wrote it. You know, most of the time other people read them, and you know, hey. But reposition yourself, living life without limits. That's what I'm talking about. Living your life like it's golden, living it without limits. This book really blessed me. I love this book, T.D. Jakes. And another T.D. Jakes book, Instinct, The Power to Unleash Your Inborn Drive. We gotta have drive, people. You gotta have drive. Yes, this is why I love reading books that are uplifting and everything like that. Now, these uplifting books too. Chicken Soup, are you familiar with the Chicken Soup series? Chicken Soup for the African American Women's Soul. I actually worked on this book. I was one of the readers that helped to select which stories would go in here. And I got to read them all because there was lots of submissions. And then we chose them. And then was in charge of the book tour when it came to Detroit to make sure that the authors, had a place to talk about their stories and everything. Oh, it was just wonderful. This was a wonderful experience. And there's some good stories in here. And some of the women in here, are from Detroit. Some of them are from other places. But there's a really good, and Lisa Nichols, if you never know her, she's a motivational coach now and an author. She had this project up. So they're also Chicken Soup for the Teachers. So, I got to have that because I'm a teacher. And this is really good about classrooms and things like that. And the power of positive thinking. If you're going to be working with children, you got to think positive. You just got to think positive in life. Life is so wonderful and I know there's a lot of gloom and doom going on, a lot of things going on. That's why I don't look at the news. I get a lot of flack about that. But I figure like this, if there's something newsworthy, I'm going to find out. It's going to be an alert that come through. The phone tells you everything, what happened, all the headlines. And plus people talk. People will tell me I don't need to look at the news. I need to look at things that are uplifting. I need to listen to uplifting things. Read uplifting books. So thinking positive. There's nothing positive on the news. Good Lord. I just think if they do the news, they should do all the positive stuff first and then do all the negative stuff later. So if people want to look at the news, they could turn it off after the positive stuff. Isn't that crazy? But this is a good book. Power of Positive Thinking. And you know what? These other books that I read too, for the school, this one about the troublemakers, that was a book we read as a team when I was an early childhood specialist for Oakland County, ECS, that's what they call them. We read that book, and that book really opened my eyes because we need to really be more loving to children. And by being preschool, it's easy to do that. But the older grades, I think the older the kids get, the less the love goes. The love goes out the window. Love, be love. We need to be love. And that's what that is about. They talk about different children and their stories, as well as the other book, Thrivers. Thrivers do the same thing, and talks about how we need to help these children to be thrivers and strivers. The thing about this book is it talks about how some children are thrivers. Some children just go after it, and some children are not. They don't go after anything. They just stay in where they are. And it was like a comparison study. I got a chance to meet the author. That's her and I. She was actually a keynote speaker in one of our high school conferences. I think that was this year. Was that this year or last year? Okay, yeah. But there she is in good book. I listened to her and I said, look, I'm about to download this book right now. So that's me holding and showing her that I downloaded the book and I was going to read it. And I listened to it, okay? So now, those are all good books that I showed you. I have my guilty pleasures too. So I am a big fan of James Patterson. I've got a lot of his books. I used to read Danielle Steele. I think I read everything, unless she's written anything, wrote anything new, like in the last 5 years. I think I've read everything Danielle Steele has written. James Patterson, The 11th Hour. He has all of those books. In The Quickie, this was steamy. Chris Cross, he has that Alex Cross series. And I watching the movie. Don't you love when a book becomes a movie? And who was that? Tyler Perry. He played Alex Cross. So, and I think the first Alex Cross was who was it? Kiss the Girls. Oh my God, the older black gentleman. I have that. Put it in the chat. I know that somebody knows. Remind me. Put it in the chat. First person in the chat win a prize. And listen, Beverly Jenkins. This is a local author, and I got a chance to meet her thanks to my dear friend Arlene Reese, the librarian, because we do book clubs with her too. We've done them virtually, and where we had the audiobooks, and also I think this was one of the books. Second Time Sweeter, but she has a whole series too, and her books could get a little steamy too. But I met her one time in the post office, because the first time I met her, we were in the post office, and she said to the post office employee, the post office employee said, "When are you going to get another book out?" And I'm like, book? What book? Because I'm a reader. I hear about it. She said, "Oh, one's coming out." And I said, "Oh, are you an author?" And she said, "Yes." She was Beverly Jenkins. And I had never heard of her. And she's a local right here in Belleville. I was living in Belleville at the time, and she was too. But I've read all her books since then. And come to find out, her sister and her niece are in education, early childhood education, just like me. Over at Head Start. Her sister is a director over the Head Start. I'm just like, small world, right? Small world. But Beverly Jenkins, yes, love her books. And I got a chance to meet her, and she came and did an offer. Now, speaking of meeting authors, yes. So I want to give a shout out to Monica Marie Jones. She, excuse me, she has book clubs with her. She does coaching at the coaching at the it's like a tongue twister. Coaching at the Cochran House. The Cochran House, yes, by these lovely ladies. Oh my goodness, I love that place. And once a month, we get to go there, and we get to get all this wonderful inspiration and being around positive women and having a good time, having some good food and fellowship. And sometimes we read a book. So we read one year we wrote this book. This month is a book club, and I got to get busy because it's happening on the 26th. Yes, you should come. The 26th of this month, we're going to be reading Sisterhood, and it's going to be by Dr. Joy Bradford. So I'm loving it. I think I'm gonna like that because I'm all about the sisterhood and hey, power to the sisters, and how we uplift each other and how we fix each other's crowns. That's what we do. Okay, so that's gonna be at the Cochran House this September 26th, 5:30. It's only $40, but it's well worth it. You get so much for that $40, I tell you. So also, there's another shout out person I want to give shout out to. But the Cochran House, that bed and breakfast, it is awesome. Those sisters, Rodriga and Francine, they run a very nice establishment. And if you're looking for a bed and breakfast in the downtown area, maybe you want to stay over for a game, because it's right near Little Caesars. I was going to say Joe Louis. That's not even a thing anymore, is it? All of the parks, Comerica Park, the Lions, all of the venues downtown is right in the heart of it. So, and it's historic. You get a good home-cooked Southern breakfast by these sisters. They can cook, okay? So that's my shout-out for them. I love them. I get a chance to see them on the 26th. But if I wouldn't known about doing this YouTube channel, if I would shout out Miss Jasmine Bailey. She's one of my business partners. She has a YouTube channel, and she is an avid reader too. She loves to read. She actually reads a paragraph a day on her Instagram channel. Healthy Beauty Online. Go to that. And also she does a YouTube channel, which is she helped me get this one started, and I thank her so much. A Notch Higher Living, where she does interviews for people that are prominent, because I did an interview, so it must be prominent. Yes, but anyway, yes, that's what's going on. But you know what? I have all these books, and I tell you what, the best book, my favorite book that I read, right here, the Bible. That's the book for me. Standing on the Word of God with the Bible. Bible. Basic Instructions Before Leaving Earth. I love my Bible. Of all the reading and all the books that I do, I love this Bible because you can't get enough of it. And every time you read it, you get more and more and more information. I have the Parallel Bible. You can see it has the King James Version on this side and the Amplified Version on this side. I love the Amplified Version because it just brings the Bible to life. It brings the word it just makes it so big. That's what amplified means. You know, we think about the music and amplifiers, makes it bigger, makes it louder, and that's what we need. That's what I need. So I am excited about Read a Book Month, Read a Book Day, and there is also National Reading Month. You know, we talk about all of that. So I just want to, this has went on a very long time. Oh my God, this is probably the longest one I've done, but I just had to share with you these books. I love books, and I just wanted to take this time to share them with you. So guess what? We still have the contest going on. You can still win a free trip. You can still subscribe. You can still get 3 people to subscribe and say that they subscribe because of you. And every time you do that, your name goes in a drawing. And you can go to many, many different places. You get to choose. Summer is winding down. Fall is coming up. You might want to go somewhere close. You might want to go somewhere where you get on a plane. But I think, you know, I was with some of my church friends, and we were talking about a trip to Niagara Falls coming in the fall. Yep. So that's what we're going to do. So listen, everybody, I'm going to sign off because I want you to remember to be bold, be beautiful, and be you. And when I say you, I mean your original uniqueness, because there's nobody like you. You are unique. You are wonderful. You are a blessing. You are strong. You are positive. You are smart. You are kind, and you are important. And don't you forget it. I'm Karen K. Rutch, and I approve this message. Bye-bye.